Okay, so we're moving on to homework number 31. I've got a few examples that I'm going to do. Actually 2, 3, and 4, which are fairly simple ones, but they show a pretty good range of results. So in this homework, as opposed to the last homework where we're doing full truth tables, this one we're doing the indirect method, which is basically just abbreviating it so we don't have to do the entire truth tables. As with the last one, number 8 on homework number 30, you saw that some of the truth tables can get pretty long and tedious, and I believe we didn't even end up finding an invalid row on that one. So it's kind of a lot of work, but it shows you how everything works. So now we're just going to do the indirect method, which is hopefully just finding whether or not it can be invalid using one line. So we're just going to skip ahead. So if you remember from doing the entire truth tables, we needed to find a row in which all of the premises were true and the conclusion was false in order to show that the argument was invalid. If we couldn't find one of those rows, then the argument was valid. So we're just going to go ahead and skip ahead and see if we can find one of those rows. So this one's pretty simple. Complex premise, but there's only one premise, and the conclusion is simply the simple proposition A. So let's go ahead and highlight which is the main operator in the premise, the first and only premise. So in this one, the main operator is going to be this disjunction here. A, the simple proposition A, is the first disjunction, and then this entire thing here is going to be the second disjunct. So it's not the disjunction of B and not A. So let's go ahead and put a star over that one, and then this is obviously what we're looking for, since that's the conclusion. So let's go ahead and we're looking for, again, remember, all true premises and a false conclusion. So let's just fill that out and see if we can get there. So first premise is true, conclusion is false. This would show that the argument is invalid, so let's figure it out, fill in the rest of it, and see if we get any contradictions. So right away, you can notice that A, we've already filled out false for A, and all of the simple propositions have to be consistent through the entire argument. So we can go ahead and fill out false under A, and actually we can fill out false under this A as well. And so we can look at the disjunct next. So for a disjunction to be true, either one of the disjuncts can be true. So it's okay that we have a false here, but that means that this disjunct, or actually this negation, because this is the main operator of this grouping right here, this is going to have to be true. For this disjunct to be true, either one of these is going to have to be true, and since we know that A, one of the disjuncts, is false, this whole thing is going to have to be true. So this carry through the opposite truth value here means that the disjunction inside the parentheses is going to have to be false. And since we have this, A is false, which means that not A is going to be true. And already we have a contradiction, because it doesn't even matter what B is. B could be true or false. For this disjunction to be false, both this and the negation of A would have to be false. And since this one is true, we have a contradiction right here.